What's up, everybody? Matt Yara here, coming at you. Gonna tell you what I'm thinking about. Gonna tell you what's going on in my mind. Ooh, I guess we'll go there. One thing I'm thinking about, or that, somebody that I follow by the name of Owen Cook, he talks about, like, what is it that you're constantly looping on, right? So what is it? Is it a memory? It's almost always a memory. The memory that you keep replaying in your head. And for me, or in general, sometimes it's like, if something cool happens, something fun, something you want to remember. Oh, fuck. I fucked myself on this right turn. What do you loop on? Do you loop on your victories? Do you loop on your accomplishments? Things that went well, sometimes. Or do you loop on negative experiences? Usually it's a combination of both. And when it comes to presence, Buddhism, spiritual growth, what they say is you want to connect to the present moment. And anytime you're looping on these past experiences, it takes you out of the present moment. But not just that, it's when you loop on something in the past, then that sort of programs what it is that you're thinking about. And one thing I notice in myself is I tend to loop on annoying and frustrating conversations I've had with my family. That's not good. I don't want to loop on that. Not even just my family, sometimes friends. I loop on arguments in the future. You ever do that? You ever I'm going to argue. I disagree with this person on this thing, whether it's politics or something else, and you kind of rehearse debating them in the future. Why do we do that? And I'm also noticing that, again, when I loop on, particular annoying conversations I may have had with a loved one, then that keeps me in that emotional state, It's like somebody said something to me, or a lot of times, you ever notice, it's usually a parent, they keep having the same conversations with you. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I've noticed so many times, I'll be talking to my parents about something, whether it's personal, whether it's political, and it's like they make a point, I make a counterpoint, and they make, we each say the same things. And I don't know if they know this, but we've had the exact word for word argument many, many times. It's a little crazy. That's somewhat of a tangent. But I more so wanted to talk about the looping, because the looping I do, but just by myself. The looping I do when I'm driving, mostly when I'm driving, because I'm physically occupied, so my brain just finds something to revert to. Oftentimes it serves as a distraction. Like if I'm trying to read a book or get something else done, some kind of boring work, I'll just sit there arguing with myself. it's very, very productive. Just as productive as it sounds. I don't know. I'm not saying this as if to say I have a solution for it. Here's the solution to your looping. I'm more so just noticing it in myself. I mean, I've noticed it for a while, and I was doing it before I started taking this video. I was listening to a podcast, but not really listening to it. It was just in the background. My attention was focused on this just annoying argument that I consistently get in with a family member of mine. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to simmer on that for a little bit. And, you know, maybe the looping is trying to teach you something. Especially if it triggers you. Right? Because like if somebody that you know, friend or family, they say something and it kind of upsets you, and then you stay upset about it. Why do you stay upset about it? Because that's really what it is. It's a conversation I had. It upset me. I was annoyed and frustrated while it happened. And I'm still frustrated that it happened. And so I keep replaying it and getting angry. And then the anger reinforces itself. Maybe I'm trying to resist something. Maybe that's what the looping is. We're in resistance. Because I notice my instinct is to dig my heels even further within the context of the argument. I also notice, this is interesting. The part of that conversation that really upsets me is this feeling is the sense that this family member is trying to influence my decisions. Right? They disagree with some sort of life choice that I'm trying to make or have made, and they keep trying to debate me into doing something else. And that's the part that really pisses me off. But ironically, by looping on it, and the thing that I'm emphasizing, and I'm like, okay, if this happens again, this is what I'm going to say. Ultimately, my response is also trying to control their behavior. So what does that mean? I don't know. Now the justification is that I'm trying to control their behavior towards me. And they're just trying to control my behavior in life. And that's something I'm trying to embody more and more, is letting go of this desire to impose my beliefs upon other people. Because I do have some controversial beliefs, some things that people disagree with, and then we always fight about it. And the framing of the argument is that we're each trying to convince the other person to sort of cross sides. But that never happens. So I've been trying more and more in those disagreements to emphasize that I'm not trying to convince you to agree with me. I'm just trying to express myself and my beliefs. Which is frustrating because they're still coming from the frame of trying to change my beliefs, even though I've let go of the desire to change theirs. I think that's sort of like the default mindset of most people in their disagreements, is that they're trying to change other people's thoughts and beliefs and actions about something. We need the rest of the world to agree with us. Without really caring what other people have to say, if it's not in alignment. And I think this kind of ties into a book that I recently finished, an audio book called Reality Transurfing. It's a very interesting book, and it talks about the idea of pendulums. And a pendulum is kind of like a shared perspective on the world. So like any religion is a pendulum, or I think the easiest way to conceptualize it, again, it's like a religion. We all believe in the truth of this book. This book is the truth, and all the other books are not the truth. It's kind of what a religion is. Or you could be if you're a sports fan, or any nationalism. These are kind of more extreme, very obvious examples. Right, so if you went to the University of Michigan and you love Michigan football, then everything is all go Michigan football, and we hate Ohio State football, and they suck and we're good. And so you find other people in your tribe and you collect together, and you collectively give energy to Michigan football, or the Republican or Democratic political party, or nationalism. I am a patriot of the United States government. You give your energy away to this other collection of ideas. And pretty much everybody is, to some degree, captured by at least a few pendulums, right? And so when you get in these arguments with people, you're not even really arguing with them. You're arguing with the degree to which they have been captured by this pendulum. Now, some of the examples I gave are much larger, more global things. Like these are the collective pendulums, but they could be smaller, you know, if we're talking about like even like office politics or like social cliques. You know, within a high school, any group of friends might have their own little mini pendulums. I don't know. I'm looping on these arguments that I have with other people, or even potential arguments. And maybe just in looping on them, I'm giving my energy away. Actually, I know that is absolutely true. By looping on these arguments, I'm giving my energy towards this, what is essentially a parasite. That is interesting. At least for me. Maybe it didn't. I don't know if you as the listener, maybe it didn't click for you the way it's clicking for me inside, but alright, I don't know. That's all I got about that. Thank you for tuning in, and have a beautiful day.